When my husband first shared his secret desire with me, I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I genuinely believed it was one of those passing thoughts people mention without meaning them. A harmless fantasy. Something spoken softly in private and then forgotten. I assumed it would fade the way so many idle thoughts do. But it didn't. Days went by, and he brought it up again. And again. Each time, his voice carried a strange mix of excitement and hesitation. His eyes didn't sparkle with humor, they searched my face, almost nervously, like he was waiting to be judged. That's when I realized this wasn't casual curiosity. This was something he had been holding inside for a long time. I never imagined I would seriously consider it. Never believed I would let such a thought linger in my mind. Yet the night I finally stopped dismissing it, the foundations of everything I believed about marriage, loyalty, and myself began to crack. It began quietly. One ordinary evening after dinner, when the house was still and the world outside felt far away. He poured himself a glass of wine and sat across from me at the kitchen table, unusually silent. There was a heaviness in his posture, like words pressing against his chest, desperate to escape. When I asked what was wrong, he didn't answer right away. Instead, he leaned closer, lowering his voice as if the walls might betray us. "There's something I've been wanting to tell you," he said. "Something I've been afraid to ask." I smiled nervously, trying to lighten the moment, but he didn't smile back. His seriousness stopped me cold. Then he said it. The words didn't register at first. I thought I must have misunderstood. Surely he didn't mean what I thought he meant. But when I saw his hand shake slightly as he held his glass, I knew this wasn't a joke. His wish echoed in my ears, and my body went still. He wanted me to be with another man, openly. Not secretly. Not behind his back. He wanted to know. To witness it. My first reaction was shock, followed closely by anger. Wasn't this betrayal, even if he was the one suggesting it? But the look on his face wasn't mocking or careless. It was vulnerable. Almost pleading. As if he had carried this secret for years, unsure if speaking it aloud would destroy us. "I need you to understand," he said quietly. "This doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean you're not enough. It's just something I can't stop imagining." I didn't know what I felt. Flattered? Disturbed? Broken? Our marriage had always been built on trust, and suddenly that trust was standing on unfamiliar ground. That night, sleep refused to come. His words replayed in my mind over and over, and the more I tried to reject them, the more dangerous my thoughts became, because part of me wondered what it would feel like to say yes. The next morning was thick with silence. He moved around the kitchen as if everything were normal, but his tension was impossible to miss. Finally, I asked the question that had been burning inside me. "Do you really mean it?" He looked straight at me. "Yes. But I will never force you. This has to be your choice." That was when I understood how serious this was. This wasn't a fleeting idea. It was a part of him. And somehow, knowing that gave me a strange sense of control. I found myself split between two versions of myself, the devoted wife who wanted to protect everything we had built, and the woman who couldn't ignore the curiosity slowly waking inside her. "If you say no," he said gently, taking my hand, "I'll never mention it again. But if you say yes, we do it together." That night, sleep again abandoned me. His words followed me into the dark. "If you say yes." The idea felt dangerous, wrong, and yet intoxicating. By morning, my decision was already forming. Over breakfast, I looked at him properly. Not pleading. Not pressuring. Just waiting. "Yes," I whispered. The relief on his face startled me. It wasn't triumph. It was release. As if something deeply buried had finally been allowed to breathe. My chest tightened with the weight of what I had agreed to. There was no undoing it now. The days that followed felt charged, like the air before a storm. Every glance between us carried meaning. Every touch felt heavier. By agreeing, I had opened a door neither of us could close. He began hinting gently, preparing me without words. Lingering looks during movies. Meaningful pauses. He wasn't hiding anymore. Then one evening, he told me it was time to take the first step. Just to talk, he assured me. Nothing more unless you want it. I told myself I was in control. That I could stop anytime. But deep down, I knew this wasn't just about talking. That night, we went to a quiet lounge tucked away from the familiar parts of our life. The lighting was soft, the music low, a place where secrets felt safe. That's when I saw him. Daniel. Calm. Confident. Observant. He stood to greet us, his handshake warm and steady. When our fingers touched, something unexpected passed between us, not desire exactly, but awareness. We talked. Laughed. Shared stories. On the surface, it was innocent. But beneath every word, something unspoken hummed. He believes in you, Daniel said softly at one point. He thinks you're ready. Ready. The word echoed in my mind. My husband watched me closely, not with jealousy, but anticipation. That's when it struck me. This wasn't just his fantasy anymore. Somewhere along the way, it had become mine too. The power to choose rested entirely with me. No pressure. No force. Just possibility. When Daniel's hand brushed mine again, I didn't pull away. My husband noticed, and smiled. That smile told me everything. He wanted this, yes. But more than that, he wanted me to choose. And when I finally did, when I accepted what was happening without running from it, something inside me shifted forever. Later, when it was over, when the moment had passed and reality settled back in, I searched my husband's face for regret. For fear. For anger. But instead, he touched my cheek gently and whispered, "Now you understand." I lay awake long after, staring into the darkness, realizing how much one single yes had changed me. I wasn't the same woman anymore. Not entirely innocent. Not entirely certain. But deeply aware that love, trust, and desire are far more complicated than I ever believed. And the most unsettling truth of all? It wasn't regret that kept me awake. It was knowing I could never go back.